Just a quick reminder that Verve is still offering 30 free days of service where you can now watch not just Dragon Ball Super, but Black Clover, simulcast and simuldubs, Food Wars Season 3, Junie Tyson, and so much more. It's like a combination of Crunchyroll with anime, Funimation, and Netflix with movies, and you can link your accounts from Crunchyroll and Funimation to Verve so you can watch everything on one platform. The link to get your free month is down below. Check it out. So we are 1 week removed from one of the craziest, actually no, the craziest weekend in Dragon Ball Super history when we had the special and complete madness all week pretty much, but the show must go on, and thus we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 111 here on this video review. Now, last week for the special, I did not give the Japanese title of the episode. That might have been the first time ever, even though I may have skipped it on the first episode. Don't really remember, but we're back to normal again this week. So, Ichigen no Kyotujin Batoru Hito vs Jiren, which translates to Extreme Battle of Another Dimension, Hit versus Jiren. I like doing it in Japanese because it helps me practice on my Japanese. I do plan on going to Japan one day, and the problem is I don't know how to read Japanese text. You know what I mean? Like katakana and kanji, so I feel like I'm going to get lost if I go over there. So the more you know, the better, right? But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the continuation of what happened last week where Jiren, I'm sure most of you saw it by now. In fact, I would hope all of you did. Jiren kicked the crap out of Goku, and Goku was left laying, and it's teased at the end of 110 that Frieza was going to hurt Goku, but I was theorizing last week that no, I think he's going to heal Goku, but that's where the episode left off, with Frieza smiling at Goku saying, ha, this reminds me of Planet Namek. And we pick up with that, I mean, right here. Frieza's holding the energy towards him, Goku's laying there, and when I said that Frieza said it reminds him of Namek or whatever, it really was reminiscent of Namek in more ways than one. So Frieza fires the blast, and they have this big explosion, and they're teasing that Frieza just killed Goku, is what they're teasing for just a few moments there. Goku freaks out, but he realizes, he's like, okay, well, I'm okay. And I had predicted last week, like I said, that he was going to heal him. Good prognostication there, those of you who agree with me, because he does indeed heal Goku. In fact, Frieza even tells Goku, he's like, you should be able to move now, even with your body, you know, banged up or whatever the case may be. So it's literally mirroring Namek here with the roles reversed, and I did like that moment a lot. I really enjoyed that. It was very clever, and the reason as to why Frieza healed Goku is because basically Frieza believes that Goku's the only one who can beat Jiren, and even though they want to win this tournament, even though Frieza hates Goku, he understands that this power may be the secret to beating Jiren, and he actually tells Goku that he heard, you know, the gods or whatever calling it Ultra Instinct, you know. So I find this very interesting because this is very different from the Frieza we're used to. The Frieza that we're used to would have just taken advantage right here and taken Goku out. I mean, we saw what he did in Resurrection F when his little lackey, you know, Sorbet, you know, cheap shot at Goku with the ring and whatnot. Frieza is a guy who takes advantage of the right situations, but it's almost like he realizes, okay, if I kill this dude, it might feel good, it might feel vengeful because I hate him, but I gotta let it go. I gotta let go of my hatred so I can win this thing and get that Super Dragon Ball wish, or at least survive, or maybe even get wished back with the Dragon Balls, which was the entire thing. So I like it. It's development for Frieza. I'm planning on doing a discussion topic on the channel very soon about this, about whether or not Frieza can be redeemed, because I'm very split on this. I'm very split on the direction they're going to take Frieza in this arc and what's going to end up happening. So that wraps up that story. I mean, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Elsewhere, they have the Jiren and Jit, Hit and Jiren fight, and this fight takes up the vast majority of the episode. And basically they, you know, and it's a good fight. I mean, this episode was really mostly a lot of action, not too much dialogue. It really was a fun fight, and I enjoy watching it personally. I wish it would have gone on a little bit longer though, but I'll get to that as we go through. So Jiren and Hit are fighting, and Jiren realizes very quickly that the time skip, the Tokitobashi, is actually giving him some trouble. He connects with some of his shots, but he misses a few as well. And I like this fight because it's really totally more of an alpha male type of battle. And unlike Goku versus Jiren, it's more of a chess match, which I really did enjoy. You know, I like how Super's kind of doing these types of fights versus it just being power, power, power. I like that, but later on in this fight, it does kind of become a thing about power, which again, we're going to get to here in a minute here. But basically, Jiren is intently heightening his senses and listening for hits so that he knows when to strike. So even if you're as fast as Jiren, time skip can still give you problems. Jiren, there's a scene here where he just is countering everything, counter punching, rocking hits trying to come at him from different angles, and Jiren's just seeing and hitting. So very good stuff here. So he tries to do some very unique tactics and kind of take the Toketobashi and kind of twist it a little bit by doing sort of a combination Zanzo-ken Toketobashi where he's leaving behind like mirror mirages of himself to trick Jiren. It doesn't work, but again, it just goes to show that Hit has so many more tricks up his sleeve as an assassin that we haven't even seen everything yet. So this goes on for quite a bit, and Jiren's even telling him like, look bro, this ain't gonna work on me. And I really like the fact that Hit went right after Jiren. He saw an opening and he went right after him. It wasn't one of those things where he would have waited and he was timid. No, he went right in there. He's like, you know what? I want to challenge this dude. I want to fight him. And again, it goes back to what Vado said about Hit back in episode 72, I think it was, when she said that Hit is a martial artist. Not just an assassin, also a martial artist who wants to test himself against the best, and I like that. So Goku's watching the fight, and as this happens, the two Universe 6 Namekians, we finally see them for the very first time. We saw them last week, but I mean, like, clearly we see them. Saonero and Pilina are their names. The subtitles may call them something different, I'm not entirely sure, but they appear. And they're about to cheap shot Goku. It's kind of funny. They're trying to get the jump on him. But Piccolo and Gohan stopped them. And it's funny because they were kind of like surprised to see a Namekian. You would think that Piccolo would be the one that was like, oh, you're a Namekian. But they were more surprised than Piccolo, it seemed. And also elsewhere, the fight between Vegeta and Ribrianne picked up again. She does that thing where she turns herself into a ball, and Vegeta's blasting it. He's about to nail her and about to rock her, but Rosie, her partner, saves her. And we have a very interesting scene where, so I don't know if Super's like becoming self-aware, because I said last week that Ribrianne is a very polarizing character. A lot of people hate her, and I never really felt that bad about her until last week. I felt after last week's episode 109, the first half, that she needs to go because the gimmick is getting played out. Well, her and Ribrianne and Rosie start talking, and Rosie smacks her in the face. And because basically Ribrianne was like thinking they might not win. And then Rosie smacks her and she's like, remember, it's about love or whatever. And I'm just looking at like smiling because, and Ribrianne gets mad at this. But it's like, again, like you've been talking all this crap about love over and over and over again in such a one-dimensional kind of stupid way. Because her character really is becoming one-dimensional. I'm just being real with you. It's not fun like it used to be. I want to see her actually wake up and understand what's going on here. And Rosie's like, you're the one who's been talking about love. I mean, she doesn't say this, but she implies it. And yet you're about to give up? Like, come on now. Like, I really like that. She deserved to get slapped. And I do hope that Ribrianne and Rosie stop with the love crap and actually take this seriously. Because then that would be some development. You know what I'm saying? That would make the character more interesting, I think. That she still can be wacky, but understand how serious this is. So they go back to the Jiren Hit fight. And it's interesting because Hit actually manages to block some of Jiren's shots. I should have mentioned this as well, that it seems like Hit is a lot stronger than we think. Because somebody as strong as Jiren, you would think would be just unbeatable, which they certainly are saying he is. But Hit managed to block him. So again, that tells me that as of right now, as of this very moment as I'm saying this, Hit probably is, probably the third or maybe even fourth strongest guy in there behind Jiren and Goku. I mean, but again, we don't know for certain, but Hit definitely is no joke. And they talk about this later on, by the way. So Hit goes for this long-range attack to distract Jiren, comes up from behind and nails him with the heart punch, the same one that killed Goku for a few minutes in Dragon Ball Super episode 72. And then Jiren gets tossed through all these mountains, And this is a great shot. I mean, this is the first time we're actually seeing Jiren look vulnerable. This is the first time, like, except for when Goku hit him for those very brief moments in last week's episode, this is actually like Jiren looking like he might lose because he goes through all these mountains and he's right about to get thrown out, but he did, like, right at the edge of the arena, but he doesn't go out. And then he looks down at his chest and he's not dead. So Jiren, being the tough alpha that he is, 8 hits heart punch. So again, they really are pushing Jiren here. Jiren survived the punch that killed Goku during those episodes. You know, I mean, it was a while back. I mean, those episodes aired in like December of last year, but still, like, it's still, they're showing us, you know, what's going on. And Vermouth is starting to get angry right here. Like, it's interesting how the gods react. So Jiren starts to glow purple, right? Something very interesting happens here. Hit has a move where he basically paralyzes Jiren. And I missed the actual explanation for this. I might have to go back and watch the episode again and pick up on the explanation. And if it's important enough, I might do a video on it. I'm not sure if it will be, though, to be honest with you. But again, this goes back to the whole thing about, you know, Hit having more tricks in the trick bag. He's doing stuff we've never seen before. So Jiren is there frozen, and Hit sees this, and he's preparing to fire a big ki blast at Jiren. And before he does, he tells Kaba, he's like, listen, I'll take care of Jiren. Go fight other people. You know, go do what you can do here for Universe 6. And so Kaba seems to have this, you know, Hit's definitely taking a leadership role here. And I like how Kaba has this sort of admiration for Hit. I don't think it's quite as strong as the one he has for Vegeta, but there's definitely a respect factor there. And without question, Hit is the captain of this damn team, which is why the results of this episode is going to be very interesting going forward. You know, they have this cool little action shot of Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale, you know, attacking people. So that was kind of cool. And I like that Kale is back in the fight now. You know, Kale's not, you know, all scared. She's in there. So Hit powers up this huge ki blast and he's about to launch it, but Jiren is slowly moving, trying to break free. Slowly moving. Hit moves in for a big attack on Jiren, but right before he hits this attack, he puts up a barrier. Jiren puts up a barrier to block the attack. Then he uses his hand and, like, puts his hand out and, like, crushes the ki blast. Like, he literally takes Hit's, like, I suppose you can say his trump card. I'm really not sure. But he reaches out and he just squishes it with his hand. This was really cool, but also kind of freaky because, you know, what is it going to take to beat this guy? So then they start fighting again. They start swinging at each other. Really good stuff. You know, Jiren pummels Hit unmercifully. Then he does that move he did on Goku where his eyes light up and he hits him with those fast shots. Like, sorry for the sound effects, but you know what I'm saying. Nails him, fires up, and then, you know, as Hit's going down, he fires a blast very similar to the one on Kale. He even does the same pose where he, you know, he picks up Hit with his energy, throws him to the edge of the, you know, arena. The blast explodes and Hit is eliminated. And that's it. And in fact, Jiren even says it's over. So again, even though I knew going into this based on spoilers what happened, it's still very shocking because we've never really seen Hit this vulnerable ever. Even when he fought Goku, you know, when he fought Goku in this the one when Goku hired him to kill him and whatnot in the in between episodes, Hit never looked this vulnerable. You know what I mean? Ever. And you know, it really, again, it goes back to what I've been saying. I sort of prognosticated this at the beginning of the arc. I said if Jiren's going to be the new rival, they're going to have Jiren beat Hit because Hit is Goku's previous rival from earlier on in this, you know, in this series, Dragon Ball Super. But it's a very shonen type thing. It's just not even shonen. It's a lot of fiction, you know, because Sailor Moon did it too, where you have the new villain sort of cuck, for lack of a better term, the old villain. And I'm not saying that they're villains in the sense of them being bad people, but they're rivals and antagonists. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when Frieza showed up on Earth after the Frieza saga, we had all these episodes of Frieza, and then Trunks comes in there and just destroys him without even, you know, breaking a sweat, and then tells Goku about this bigger threat coming up in the future. That's just how it is with these shows, you know, and that's what's going on here, is they had to put Jiren over Hit. Now, as a fan of Hit, which I am, and a lot of people out there are, it's a little bit disappointing that they actually eliminated him. I was really hoping that Jiren would just beat him up and then something would stop Jiren from throwing him out. But in this case, you know, I presume that Jiren was going to throw Goku out, but then Hit stopped him. However, Jiren didn't just go in there and, you know, he didn't just go in there and take out Goku. Now, one of the problems that I have with this episode, which is actually kind of bugging me, and the last one is, if Jiren is so strong, why is he not eliminating people? Why is he not... And if they explain this, I must have missed it. But why is Jiren just not powering up and just winning this thing now? If he's that strong, and he even says it. In the episode, he even says, I'm going to get to it in a minute, like specifically what happened, but he even says, he's like, with Goku and Hit out of the way, nobody can screw with me. I mean, that's how I'm saying it, not exactly in those words. So if he's so strong, why doesn't him, Toppo, and Dispo just destroy everybody now? Like, what are they waiting for? Like, I always found that to be a little weird, you know, and we know Toppo's very strong too. I just find that to be very weird that they're just goofing off. So, of course, with Hit's elimination, Kaba freaks out, Champa freaks out. I was expecting a little bit more of a freak out from Champa. I really was. Universe 6 is absolutely in deep trouble now because they don't have a Hit there anymore, and he was their guy. You know, Hit pretty much says, he's like, once he broke my attack, that paralysis attack, that was it. Like, I knew I lost. So then we find out that the tournament has officially reached the halfway point. We are halfway through the Tournament of Power. The Great Priest waves his hand. The entire void turns to this green color. You know, some of you have seen the green color in some of the promotional material, and that appears to be the way it's going now. And basically, Jiren goes to reunite with Toppo and Dispo, and this is when he makes the line about how he punked out hitting Goku back to back and thinks that nobody's left. So he meditates and pretty much to rest. He goes back to that meditation state. And again, you know, seeing the old rival get bodied doesn't surprise me. The only thing that I found weird is that it's different because this time Goku already did the new form. You know, he already got a new power up before the new rival got beat. And so they did it kind of backwards here, which I thought was interesting. But again, I can't say I'm surprised. It still came off a little surprising just because of the way it happened, but I can't say I'm totally surprised. I just wish it would have happened later. You know what I mean? I wanted a little bit more of Hit. So that was kind of a letdown, but that's purely from a fan perspective, right? Not so much a narrative perspective because the narrative makes sense. So as Jiren is meditating, the Universe 3 guys, Kat Persa and Biara, the two robots, try to get the jump. Well, actually, Kat Persa, I think he's a superhero. Tries to get the jump on the Pride Troopers, but Toppo and Dispo are there to protect Jiren. And that's pretty much how the episode ends. I mean, next week we got Vegeta and Kaba development, I don't know, and more going on, more fights. So I guess as of right now, Jiren is going to rest, and Goku, of course, is not at 100% yet either. So I guess they're going to break on those two guys and focus on other characters, which, again, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them focusing on other characters, but I feel like Jiren has become such a promoted commodity that anything that doesn't focus on him is going to end up, you know, we want to see more Jiren is the way I think a lot of fans are going to react, especially now that Hit is gone. They want more of these big tough guys in there. So overall, I did enjoy the episode. I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest with you. I was a little bit bummed that Hit got eliminated. I wanted a little bit more fighting. The animation looked fine, looked very smooth. I do wonder what's going to happen with Jiren. The music is, you know, on par with last week, I think, even though maybe not as epic, because last week was really, really epic, but I liked it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun to watch. I just wish they would have had more of this fight. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this fight. And don't forget to check out Verve. 30 days for free. That's not going to be around for much longer, so you want to take advantage of that. They have Black Clover. They have Dragon Ball Super. They have movies like Evil Dead. They have tons of stuff, and you can link your Funimation and Crunchyroll accounts to Verve. So instead of having to open up like 2 or 3 different apps, you can just open up the one Verve app and watch everything on there. It just makes things a lot easier. Funimation partnered with Crunchyroll, of course, and Verve is owned by Crunchyroll, or vice versa. It depends on which. It's the same thing. But check it out, verve.co/geekdom, and you can get 30 free days, a whole month to watch Super in beautiful HD quality and other stuff too. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for the preview for 112.